Europe,
Welcome back.
Peace Reflection. We live on YouTube, Tehuti TV. We live on Eliana page. You know,
Welcome, Reflection.
Peace Reflections.
Yes. There we go.
All right, so it's good. All right.
Peace, Mama Shiva. She in the room.
Word.
We got a few people in the room. Um, Today is a good day. There is that new?
Yeah, I think this green now.
Peace reflection.
Hmm.
Um, Today I personally just wanted to address a few topics. My husband definitely wants to address a few topics. People just going crazy, right? But
Hmm.
we're not gonna focus too much on the negative things about it. More on the principles. So they got when you're on a righteous path, because we know the mission that we are all on right now. We know that we're trying to get in tune with ourselves. We're trying to get back to nature. We got all these beautiful things that we want to do with our life, and this knowledge is so get the message from Master Teacher Tehuti, and then sometimes you run into people on your journey that tries to discourage you from what you're trying to go do or what you're trying to seek. That have negative entities or demonic thoughts that'll try to take that message away from you, or try to take what you truly have in your heart and your desire away from you. And so I know a lot of people out there are going through that, and I want to just give you a little bit of insight on what you could do to keep persevering, keep going. This is all about just keep going, because once you give your desires away to somebody else, if somebody takes your desire, then it didn't really mean nothing from the beginning. It has to really be embedded in you to keep it moving. Even though you have people that come into your life and say certain things or may do certain things to you, you have to have enough compassion and understanding, love in your heart to keep it moving. um One of the things I really, really want to address, they have people that, even to my tribe members, they come and, they say, you should go home. What are you doing out there? You're making the worst decision of your life and stuff like that. And we look at these people, and sometimes we don't know how to respond, because we know in our hearts, we're like, this is the most divine thing I could be doing with my life, right? And it's the truth. It's gonna come to it anyway. This is what it all boils down to. This is the road everybody has to take. We just going from point A to point B through a straight line. We're not taking route C, route E, route D, right. We're not taking all those alternative routes. We're trying to get to the point. So these people come, and then we're like, oh, what do I say to this person, right? The thing about it is, for people out there that are telling, divine souls to go home, you truly don't understand what home is. We have been programmed to think that a certain place in a certain spot is home. That's not the true meaning of home. Home is somewhere you reside. In carbonation, we reside on the earth. The earth is our home. No matter where we choose to stay in a specific part of our home, because we know that that is the most conducive place for us to be. That's where we thrive. That's where we could get all the elements and not have any need to go outside of these boundaries, which is the tropics, right? So we believe the earth is our home, and because Babylon has confined us to one spot, we are wanting to go back to our natural environment, as a chosen, as people, who are elected with the astrological capacity to hold knowledge of self, to understand it, to live it, and to actually practice it and give it to other people to practice. So, um, we come to the jungle because that's where it don't matter about who the people we're with, or in what specific part of the jungle we're in. What matters is that we're in the jungle. What matters is that we're here and that we're living it, and that this is where we need to be. So when you tell us to come back home, we're thinking in our minds, come back home to what? Babylon? a place that's destroying itself, that's destroying the earth, I'm destroying myself when I go there to participate in the doings of this place. No, I don't think that's home. I think that being in the jungle is home. So you can add in, if anything.
Yeah, what you gotta understand is this, babe. You gotta understand is that most people are genetically modified organisms. When I say that, I means that since the day we was born, most people have been genetically modified. Now, to understand this is to have true understanding of what's really going on. When people say the spirit realm, what they talking about is the biological realm, meaning the microscopic realm. People don't know what they're saying because they can't see it and pick it up with the senses. They don't understand what they're talking about is the biological and the astral realm. You know, as above, so below. So, what's happening in the realm that we're in is symbolic. This whole everything that you see from the trees, everything, our body, everything that you can sense with these senses is all symbolic of what's going on in the microscopic realm
Yeah.
and what's going on in the astral realm. Okay. Now, the powers that be know this. So you got the ignorant, lower conscious people calling it the spirit realm and saying, "Oh, spirit told me to do this or spirit told me to do that." They don't understand that it's all biological warfare. That's why they're being sprayed with microRNAs. The reason why I'm saying this is that most people have been genetically modified to a point they can only use their minds to a certain degree. Now, when I say that, I mean that I'll give you an example. People will look at a TV and think that what's going on the TV is on the TV. Like right now, we're on a cell phone. The way these people look at life is like it's like looking at our cell phone and being like, we're on the cell phone. You know, they look at things from the symbolic, not realizing we're being broadcasted to the cell phone, but we're not really on your cell phone. So when people look at you, they see you for this. They see you for this.
Yeah.
They see you as
Only.
as what's going on right here. Listen to your little voice and say, "Oh, this is who." These are people that are genetically modified to a point where their minds, because your mind comes from your genetic modification, your genome. You understand? So we are nothing more than our genome, which is our astrological programming. You feel what I'm saying? And
Yes.
everything is biological. Everything is biochemistry. And until we start tapping into biochemistry and start looking at what they're putting in our foods, the microRNAs that they spraying us with the chemtrails, putting in your water, putting in your food, until we look at that, we can see how they're altering our minds to see reality. So these people can't see reality the way we see them. So we could talk to them, but we try to break this down in baby talk for them.
Yeah.
So that they can understand where we coming from. You know what I'm saying? They look at you, they see a little girl. They see a little girl with a little voice. And they look at your past, they're trying to piece together from what they could gather and then trying to make a judgment and then making videos from their perspective of what they think it is. But their perspective is sad because their perspective has been genetically modified
right.
since birth. So, and in the powers that be where they're at, where they were born into, see, the truth was in us. So we was able to go seek it. See, normal reality wasn't just good enough for us. Normal reality was like we questioned everything, like
Right. It just didn't
something
feel
ain't
right.
feel right. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we went on a search. We were hungry and thirsty for knowledge of self. We wanted to know what's real. No matter what emotions got involved, no matter what happened, we always wanted to know what the real divine truth was. Not everybody want to know that. Not everybody cares to know that. Some people are stuck within their program. And in their program, they can only see from their perspective. And when they're looking through their perspective, they're not seeing you for as you are. They're seeing you like a person look at a TV
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, look at the football game. Those guys are really on the TV. When what's on the TV is just symbolic to a broadcast that's being streamed to the TV. So they'll look at you and be like, oh, she's a little girl. Not realizing that you're all of this is symbolic.
Right.
Your being is symbolic.
Right.
My being is symbolic. All of it's symbolic to something. They can only see it from their perspective, not realizing they're in a whole nother dimension of the collective mind itself, where age really does not determine the maturity level or the conscious level of the being.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not living in a time or dimension where age is something that should be judged alone.
Yeah.
We're living in a dimension where consciousness is measured by how by what is done, what is said, you know, the capacity of the mind and
Mm-hmm.
how much it can expand and how what is the capacity of consciousness that this being has. So they've been programmed in such a way that they are running on old operational systems that won't allow them to come to the understanding that you're living in a whole nother world now. That old world, you're like an old car that doesn't have the computer. Like
Mm-hmm.
now, the mechanics, you roll up to the car and they have this computer they put in your car and everything pulls up that's wrong with your car. Some of these people are old ass cars that don't even have the computer, John, that
Right. Right.
they haven't upgraded their software, their minds. So what you gotta realize, baby, is that these people can only see you from a perspective or operational system that they are vibrating from. Once we understand where they looking from and how they seeing their views, then we can forgive it.
Mm-hmm.
And we realize anybody that listens to what they gotta say or anything without proper observation or make a judgment or passes a judgment using those measurements, they are going to be judged themselves within their reality.
Yeah.
Now let me finish it and close it like this. People have been genetically designed through nanotechnology. They are spraying people with chemtrails, right? People are inhaling these microRNAs, which go inside our own DNA and silence and activate certain genes that mutate our cellular disposition. The problem with this is our genetics control our behavior. So they're controlling with the environment, artificial light.
Mm-hmm.
They got spraying you with chemtrails, your water. They have control over your whole, all of your elements. But these are animals. These are free-range humans.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta see things for what it is. We gotta question everything. We free-ranged. You know what I'm saying? Like you were born inside of a zoo, inside of a simulation. It's not a real world. Look around you. Like start realizing that all of the shit that you're going through is fake. The government is fake. Like all of that shit is fake. We are here to speak a truth. And I'm gonna give it to you after this. We are here to actually show you and give you the red pill. Now
Right.
we know everybody's not designed to get the red pill, but I could articulate it in a certain way that maybe can help you look at it in a different way. But if you block by your own mind, and Matthew 13, this has all been written before. It's a rerun.
Mm-hmm.
All is symbolic. None of this is real. A tree is not really a tree. It doesn't. It appears to be a tree, but what a tree really is the nervous system of
Yes.
this cell. We're living in a dimension like an ant is living in its dimension.
Right.
Doesn't realize the world that is above it.
Right.
Right? We don't realize the world that is above us because certain people penile gland is decalcified. Is calcified to the point where it won't allow them to understand that you're living on an organism.
Hmm.
And in the city that you live in is actually the cancer on the planet, and you call that home. And that's it. I'm gonna let you grab it from there. Man.
That's the most profound thing about it all is actually, biological warfare. They think it's just the physical and they always want to use guns and that's just symbolic for what's actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm
These are
saying?
symbolism.
Right. All of the military, all of these people fighting, causing wars, that's what's going on within the spirit realm, which is the biological realm. Everything is based off of
When people say
chemistry.
spirit, they don't know they talking about energy. And when we talk about energy, we talking about the study of the astral realm and the biological realm.
Mm-hmm.
We came from the biological realm. Facts. Like we literally came
Yeah.
from microorganisms.
Yeah.
So we came from the microscopic world. We were built from the microscopic world. We came in from the ether, from the microscopic world, from DNA. So we have to look into genetics in DNA to understand the spirit. The spirit ain't nothing more than what we can't pick up with our senses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And people will, all this spookism out here, I'm sorry, I gotta hold this camera right here on YouTube. All this spookism out here got us fucked up. We just don't got words for it, and so we live in ignorance. And so you got all this spookism out here. The fact is like this: while you're being spookism, the fact is there are biochemistry wars that's going on in labs. This is a spiritual warfare, and the spirit is in your food and your elements. They got your elements. They're messing with your elements. They're messing with your genetics so they can mess with your mind. Your mind comes your behavior, and all that you are
Oh,
is
a
made
bug
up.
flew in my eye. Oh, it feels so weird.
Let me see, baby.
You see it?
It's already out. Let me see.
You see it? I could feel it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got it. You really got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a spirit, and the spirit war, the spiritual war. What spirit means is biology, biochemistry. And so when we're talking about spiritual warfare, we're talking about nanotechnology. We're talking about chemtrails. We're talking about GMO, genetically modified organisms that are in your food, which are microRNAs. This is the stuff. This is the stuff that should be in our language today. This is the stuff that we should be talking about. Brain waves. We should be talking about atmosphere. We should be talking about latitude, longitude. We should be
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. We should be talking about Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, oxygen levels in trees. Are you living in the jungle? Where you living at? Are there leaves on the trees? Because if there's no leaves on the trees, that means that those trees are not providing you any oxygen.
Right.
That the leaves provide you oxygen. The leaves, when the leaves are gone, that means that in that part of the earth cell, everything is all most of the prana is gone. So in the winter seasons right now where it's really cold, most of the life force there is gone. So that's where you see everything goes into hibernation, and you got people out in the woods where there's no leaves on the trees, and they're not really getting a good flow of oxygen to their brain. And it's very important that your hair gets sunlight, proper water, because your hair has a lot to do. This is your crown chakra. This is energy. This is energy busting out your head. And it's very important that you get sunlight, oxygen to your hair, because your hair uh, is actually correlated and what they would call analogous to your brainwave signals. Your brainwave signals are so important because this is where it gets in the alpha, beta, theta stages of the brain wave that allows you to even access your full capacity of mental of consciousness. So certain people are through their environment are vibrating at these frequencies of low frequencies because of the biochemistry that they're communicating with their food, with the people in their life, with the atmosphere being far away from the equator, not getting enough sunlight, not getting enough oxygen to their brain, living in these boxes, not really sleeping on the ground, not really having a connection with the earth. And with that being said, these people can't see life for what it truly is. So when they look at what we doing, they looking at it from a perspective that think that we crazy. They think we crazy. They think I'm crazy. They think you crazy for being you. They look at me as something crazy. Then they look at you as a little young girl that's with a crazy older man. Like that's the you know,
Yeah.
that's the person that looks at the TV and is like, oh, look at this. Whatever the news put on the TV, they go for it. Like, yeah, oh wow, look at there. Yeah, okay, cool. Like they take things for face value.
Yeah.
When what's streaming through you is the highest vibration of what they are. I'm gonna say it again. We are all collectively the sun.
Yes.
Some of us are the sun in complete form without any modifications, at its rawest organic form, where there's no modifications of the genetic code so that we can actually express it at its very finest.
Right.
And so when people are genetically modified or their genes have been altered, their mind cannot receive the message because it's been altered and modified in a way that makes them perceive reality in a way that they can't even understand it, even fathom to understand or vibrate to the frequency of understanding it. So they're looking from another perspective, and truly, it's sad because
Yeah.
that's you. That's your reflection.
Right.
Your reflection genetically modified. Your deflection. That's what it is. A deflection. How is it affecting my genetic disposition? Most people don't even know about DNA and genes,
Right.
let alone genome, their genome. You know what I'm saying? Let alone microRNAs in their food, in their toothpaste, in their lotions, and all of the household products.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that this is biological warfare, which that is the spirit realm.
Right.
People talk about bad spirits and good spirits. We're talking about, when you say spirit, all we hear in carbonation is genes.
Right. Exactly. These people are the true aliens.
Mm-hmm.
This is what comes to my mind, like putting it full circle. Like these people are the true aliens. We always talking about, extraterrestrial beings coming and taking over and doing all this crazy stuff when we are the extraterrestrial beings.
Mm-hmm.
We've genetically modified so much
The
to
real
the
world, yeah, go ahead.
to the point where we are actually going against life itself. We are life. We're supposed to be going with the flow of life, but because we've genetically modified ourselves, we're like, okay, I'm gonna go the opposite way. This is the true alien. The mutations that's inside your body, your genetic modified genes, are the aliens inside of your body. And
So
it's help. It
let me
can.
say this to make
Mm-hmm.
that clear. Reality check. For all of y'all out there, here's a reality check. You are not a human. None of this is actually what it seems. Everything you're looking at, from me to her to your phone to your tree to your bird, are all symbols. You're living in a symbolic realm. It's not what it appears to be. The real world is happening on a microscopic level, on a nanometer level.
Mm.
This is why they're messing with the real world on a nanometer level. That's what nanotechnology is.
That's
If they
facts.
can genetically modify the nanotechnology, they can control this reality, because this reality is symbolic to the nanometer reality. And you are nothing more than an expression or symbolic of a broadcast coming from there. Let me explain this to you. That's like you watching a football game on the TV and me telling you, yo, the football game is not on the TV. The football game is not actually, we're not actually on your screen right now. We're symbolic to a binary code
Mm.
that is streaming through, that allows you to see us on this screen. So what's going on in your screen right now is not really what's going on your screen. It's symbolic to something that's being broadcast somewhere else.
Right.
So the world that we live in, this 3D realm that you say this the 3D realm, your body, you're not a human. You're a cell in a nanometer world, in a microscopic world. You're a cell, and the earth is the cell that you as a cell live on. The trees are the nervous system of the cell. And the nervous system allows this tree to communicate with other cells.
Right.
And we have become a cancer on this cell. This world is not what it appears to be, but we must understand the symbols for us to understand what's really going on here. Am I making myself clear? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
So your here is not just here.
Exactly.
That's what they told you it was. That's the symbol of something else.
Right.
It's energy coming outside of you. Your fingers, your face, they're all symbolic of you being a cell made up of many different cells living on a cell. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you're not a human. You're a cell.
Right.
You're a microscopic cell that is being projected here okay, into this realm where this is a virtual world that you're walking around, which this is a symbolic world of the nanometer world. This is why they can control this world with nanotechnology, with genetic code, just like the computer system is controlled with binary code, with this is what your profile is, zeros and ones. So what you looking at a Facebook page or a Facebook profile, and that's not really what it is. It's really binary code. It's really zeros and ones. A profile. You understand? Your profile is nothing more than it's hooked up to a supercomputer that runs the internet.
Yeah.
We're hooked up to an organic computer called the Ethernet. We're the organic intelligence. And everything they're making is, the cancer cell is making, is from an artificial version of it. Their objective is to control the organic intelligence with artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now they've made an artificial, a synthetic cell. They've made a synthetic cell. They've already made AI on a genetic level. So that means that AI's already been made.
Yeah.
When they make an organism on a nanometer scale, then that means that they have the building blocks to make an AI person, an AI machine, or AI world. They can make this is how the world was created, through nanometers. The nanometer dimension is where we actually are. That's where we are. That's where we're being broadcasted from.
Yeah.
You're not really here. If you look at my face right now and you break down the structure of my face, what you're going to realize is that these are two eyeballs. I want to help you understand reality for what it is. These are two eyeballs, right? I have a brain. So where am I in this? Where am I in this body? Where am I? Look at my body. Look at your body. Where are you? Point to yourself. You got two eyes that are connected to some wires that connect to your brain. This body is a device. But even the body is symbolic. You're being streamed, dude. You're not here. You're wired to here. Kind of like Avatar. You're wired to here. It, as a projection, a holographic projection of what's really going on in the nanometer world. You're not here. What's going on here is symbolic, and until we understand the symbols, we will never understand this reality, and we will never learn how to break it, how to break the codes. We have to start studying Kemet for real. If we're going to study chemistry, we have to study binary codes, biochemistry. We have to study biology. We have to look at what they're doing when they're spraying you with chemtrails and serving you food in your supermarkets that are genetically modifying your real world, where you really are. This is just symbolic of where we really are. We're being projected here. Yeah, let's think about that for a minute, man. Let's feel our body for a minute. Let's feel this body. Let's think about that for a minute, man. We're all brains with spinal cords. But we're not even that.
Right.
What is this? What is this for real? Where are you at? I can't find you. Like, if I'm looking right here, I cannot find you. The only reason I know who you are is by what you say and what you do. That's the only way I can know who you are, by what you speak out of your mouth and what you do. That's why I know where you're at for real in the nanometer world. I can only know where you're at in the nanometer world by also, first of all, I have to know myself. I have to know that I'm a cell and you're a cell.
Right.
We're certain kind of cells. In this earth realm is actually the nanometer realm. And we're living on a cell in that realm. This is chemistry.
And something just popped in my mind. I
What's
was
that?
telling Sheba earlier, we was having a conversation, and I was telling her it's like it's definitely fractal. It's fractal. It's like all of the realms, because people talk about dimensions, all these other dimensions, and other these other. Yeah, it's fractal, but all of these dimensions or realms, they all have the same foundation, but that you have to have a certain programming astrologically that's connected to that astrological program to be able to see the realm in a certain way. Like when the guy on the video or on the movie, he saw one reality with no glasses on, but then they had another realm on top of that realm.
Parallel universes.
Exactly. That's
But
what
they're all symbolic of the original
exactly.
base of where
Because
you're at. It's just like on Avatar when
yes,
he was sleeping in one place, but he was being projected to
exactly.
another body somewhere else. But this is way more advanced than that. Life is way more advanced. We are
Yeah,
projections of the microscopic world. So if we're gonna ever understand this world,
we have to study.
we can't really look at
Yes.
symbols without connecting them to to their origin. We can't look at trees. We
Mhm.
can't look at reality without connecting it to its origin. Because you'll never understand this. You just think of it as face value, like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a tree. And nobody ever asks a question like, what the fuck is a tree?
Right.
No, who am I? How did I get here? And what is this? Those are the three questions you ask, and you seek until you find. What I found is that I'm not here. I'm not here. I appear to be here through this holographic
Mhm.
projection,
Right.
and I am here simultaneously. This is a virtual world of symbolisms of the nanometer world. So your government is altering your genetic codes to control your mind in the world
Yeah.
that appears to be to you.
Yeah.
This is what CERN is all about. This is what it's all about. This is what these supercomputers are about. All of this stuff is about uh, man versus nature. I don't have time to really be talking to people that are uh, genetically modified organisms. There's
Yes.
cells that are genetically modified. What makes you genetically modified is that you're running off of out of outdated information or
Misinformation.
misinformation
Yes.
that's not up to date to the current all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a current
Program.
vibration
Yeah.
or software
Yeah. Yeah.
that's going on
Mhm.
in the all that most cells haven't gotten because they're not in tune with the equilibrium of the entity that we live upon,
Right.
that we make up.
Mhm.
Okay? And it's very, very simple but complex because now you don't look at trees as trees. You see trees as the nervous system.
Right.
That's what they are. All these plants, all these trees, everything. We are all nerve system cells. Look at your hair. Your hair is antenna,
Mhm.
okay? Which gives me the greatest belief from my studies and where I'm at right now. What I've come to understand is that we're inside the brain. And this is where I'm at right now with understanding where I'm at and what this is thus
Mhm.
far, and this is what I'm coming out with. Um, we are inside the brain, and we are brain cells. We are neuron cells. Like
Mhm.
we are literally neuron cells in the nanometer world. Like
Mhm.
we're in the brain of our own body.
Mhm.
Now these bodies are symbolic of
Exactly.
our minds. Like your body is symbolic of your mind.
Right.
Like this is a symbol. If your mind could take form and take
Mhm.
shape, it would look like this in this realm.
Mhm.
But in another realm, it would look different. Your
Right.
mind would look different. It would vibrate at a different frequency. You might be some kind of other form. You might take another form
Right.
in another world, depending on what dimension of this being that we're in, which is ourselves. We are inside of our own body.
Mhm.
In particularly, we're in a cell, in a neuron cell of our own brain. This is what I'm finding out through deep meditation and deep meditation. I'm figuring this out, that we are living in our own brain, and this is what this is, and we have cancer.
Mm-hmm.
We have cancer, and it goes deeper.
Yeah.
The so-called Christ conscious was taken and revised, but it was really binary code. It was all genetic code.
Mm-hmm.
This was genetic code for the original code. The original information is instilled in us. And some of us are allowed to tap into that code because we are that code.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we were just destined to find the code and be the code, speak the code to. All right, put it like this. There's a certain number of us,
Mm-hmm.
right, per cell that are activated. They call us the Christ conscious, but the Christ conscious is not this hocus pocus thing. It's actually cells that do not have the genetic modification.
Right.
We have the original information installed in us. So all we do our whole life is seek for this truth. We know, we like, nah, that's not quite it. Nah, that's quite. You're kind of constantly looking for what's already in you. You're just looking for someone to say it outside of you. You're looking for what you are.
Mm-hmm.
And once you find that, you find your purpose.
Yeah.
When you find your purpose, you realize why you're here. Because all of us are logged in at some kind of point. The beauty in the Christ conscious is that the Christ conscious logged in and always will log in as a rescue unit.
Yeah.
It's an immune system unit. It's a trigger.
Yeah.
When the Christ consciousness comes, it comes to heal. So we are like angelic beings, what they would call angelic beings, right? But we're just like immune system cells in your body. When you got a fever, it comes and fights the disease.
Right.
And so we activate and we come through as your spirit, like as your astrological spirit. Like you're an Aquarius with a Cancer moon, with an Aquarius Mercury, right? You will always be that. Because that's what makes you feel and think that you're you. So no matter what, no matter how many lifetimes, you will never change that astrological code in that program. You will always be, this is what I'm finding. You will always be who you are in all realms,
Yeah.
right? The piece of the all that you are, what makes you feel like
Right.
you're the piece of you and you identify yourself as I, and kind of separates yourself from the all and make you feel and identify yourself as what you are. You will always be that in many different forms.
Right.
But guess what? When you come to a organism, you come to bring balance and harmony.
Right.
You come when the organism sends the signals that it's time, it's in a time and place. This is what your soul was designed. What your soul is nothing but an energy.
Right.
Your energy, you're a part of a collective energy. You're a piece of a collective energy, which is the original energy that comes to bring order and balance when an entity's biological code goes modified and mutates.
Right.
You come to heal the mutation with truth, with divine wisdom, with divine knowledge. We can unprogram the cancer. Now, not all the program is going to be able to accept it, but we can get it started and be there to repopulate.
Right.
Once the cancer self-destructs, we will be here to repopulate this, this organism, these cells upon this place, because the cancer will self-destruct eventually. This is where Babylon falls.
Right.
That's what that means, Babylon falling. It's all genetic. It's
Right.
all biological. It's all biochemistry. And it's all based in chemistry. It's just literally nothing to do with spookism. It has nothing to do with, bad spirits or, negative spirits or things you can't see. No. Everything can be seen. We just don't have the technology that we have now. But we did have the technology. That was our pineal gland, our hypothalamus, our whole diencephalon, which is the pituitary gland, hypothalamus, and the pineal gland. This is our mechanisms that we have the ability to use. It's a natural organic telescope. It's a natural organic microscope. It is a natural organic. It gives us the natural organic ability to become scientists, to go into the microscopic realm,
Facts.
to understand where we come from and come back and be like, oh, okay, this is a projection from there. And but what happens is we are just remembering. The Christ conscious is here to remember. The Christ conscious is nothing but our true understanding of the I am,
Right.
that we are everything, the true understanding, not just saying it, but actually realizing it. You have a nervous system, and until you actually experience and feel it, like, yo, and you can't know until you know. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta be like, oh, it's not till you get in tune with everything that you realize you're everything. You can't say that. You can't intellectualize what is to be experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So most people are trying to intellectualize what is to be experienced. You understand what I'm saying? So with this being said, when we're dealing with people, we have to deal with people and listen to what they're saying and not take them for face value.
Right.
Because they are being projected as genetically modified organisms. So imagine you walking around inside your body, right?
Yeah.
You ever see Osmosis? What is it? The movie Osmosis.
I don't remember.
Okay. So there's this, they go inside this guy's body, and there's this world inside of his body. But it's bigger than that, because you're inside of your own body, right?
Yeah.
And imagine you walking, but it's all symbolic. It's not really looking like the microscopic realm, so you would never correlate that. So you would never correlate the microscopic realm to what you see here.
Right. Exactly.
Right. But it absolutely is.
Exactly.
All of this
Right.
is a projection, because the reason why is I can't point to you right here. I can't point to you right here.
Right.
This is a device. This is a device that allows you to project your mind here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this is your mind
Right.
at the same time, because the mind created this device for it to stream through. The mind creates the body.
Yes.
There's not like, oh, I'm not my body. No, you are your body, because your mind manifested
Exactly.
itself into the physical realm of the realm that it's in. It used all the particles from all this dimension. It used all the particles. Your mind conjured up all the particles that it would take to manifest itself in the physical realm that it's in, or the realm that it's in.
Right.
So your mind thought itself into this realm, so it created itself into this realm. So your body is symbolic of it's a symbol of your mind, your astrological programming.
Yes.
So the body is very important. The body is absolutely important. And the reason why people die is because they fell. The body is being left here to be an example for us to study, to see where we fell, so we become immortal. So when people die, they don't really die. They leave the body here, right?
Yeah.
That body is illusion within our mind. It's left here to show us where we went wrong, so we can study the body, to look, so we can come immortal again.
Right.
We were immortal. We are immortal. Even in our physical being, because the physical is spiritual. Like if I asked you, where's your bones made from? You would say, my bones are made from cholesterol in my thyroid gland. Well, where's your thyroid gets cholesterol? It gets it from the elements. It gets it from the actual sun.
Right.
It gets it from water. It gets it from food. It pulls it in from the sun. That's basic. So that means that your bones are made from sun. So you're three parts. You're liquid, you're solid, and you're gas, which is the breath that you breathe. Now, you're also physical, which is solid. What we just call physical is nothing more than focused, focused matter, focused energy, focused and condensed.
Right.
You understand? It's like ice. It's focused water. It's focused in at a certain frequency. But the ice can also melt and evaporate. And that's what we do, but we don't realize we do that, because we look at the external world as we're symbolized.
Yeah.
We looking at the external world like, oh, my grandfather died, so that must mean I'm going to die. No. That body, your grandfather's not in that body. Your grandfather never was there. It was just a refraction of your own mind to yourself. So this is deep. So I don't want to go too deep because it confuses
I
people.
understand it.
No, no, I know you understand it, but I don't know if the audience might understand it. So I'm just going to try to make it very simple as possible. Here it is. This body right here, right?
Mhm.
When you go to sleep, do you think about it?
No.
No, because your mind creates it. But when you go to your dream world, you have another body.
Right.
Your mind gives you a body conducive to the atmosphere of that realm.
Exactly. Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Your mind actually creates and gives you the illusion of the symbolism of this world right here. Your mind did this. Your mind is very powerful. Your
Mhm.
mind is the subconscious, and the subconscious is the infinite,
Yeah.
the infinite primordial, anything that could be.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when you take this primordial anything that can be and condense it and focus it into a personality, that's where you get your mind.
Mhm.
You understand? And you can control someone's mind by controlling their genetic, their genome. They're altering people's mind with the food, household products, toothpaste, lotions,
Mm.
everything that you're getting from the government, and that's not a secret. If you look at the labels and just Google the words,
Yeah.
you will see how these play an effect on the cellular disposition of your body. And the cellular disposition is so important because that's the nanotechnology.
Mhm.
Then they're spraying you all day, every day, and everybody sees it, but nobody's really concerned with
Right.
it. And the
Yeah.
more you question it, the more research you look deep into it, that's when you find out. When you look into nanotechnology, you like, why are they doing this?
Right.
Right? When you look into it, what it does is opens up a world. It's like, why would they spray you? Like, why? I mean, you
I
gotta
be
ask.
asking why.
You gotta ask why.
Cause it's like stupid.
Because in these nanometers, they have created what is called microRNAs. These microRNAs turn genes off and on. If you inhale it, it goes into your blood
Mhm.
capsules and your lungs, and it goes into your DNA.
Yeah.
This RNA goes inside your body and alters the readout of your genetic code. Now, you are nothing more than an expression or a symbol of the nano realm. So, if I can alter your genetic code, I can alter your behavior.
Exactly. Yes.
So now they have GMO foods. They could take genes from one thing that they know the code and the behavior,
Mhm.
and they can put it in you. They put it in your water because they could put RNA in your water, microRNAs in your water. They have been putting
Yeah.
nanotechnologies in your
Oh
food in the
yeah.
restaurants, and they put it in the animals. They have been doing this since forever.
Yeah. Since.
This is not anything new. It's just that we're waking up to it. We're here to spread knowledge and make more
Mhm.
awareness so that we all can understand what's really going on here. It's very technical.
Right.
It's very technical. You understand? So when we are talking to these people, we have to realize they're genetically modified organisms that don't even know that they're genetically modified organisms. They don't even see reality for what it truly is. Of course, they're going to hate another part of themselves that actually appears to be something different than them. People don't like things that are different from them. That's psychology 101. People like things that mirror what they are. When everything they see something different, they point the finger at it. They're like, look at them. They're stupid, right?
Mhm.
That's natural psychology, childhood 101,
Yeah, that's true.
child psychology 101. So it's normal for people to look at us and say, why are they trying to do that? What are they trying to do? What are they talking about? Like, what do you, because they don't understand themselves. But anybody that's in the know
Mhm.
are watching us. They're like, how the hell these people are really smart. They get it. They understand what's
Right.
going on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And they realize that they can't just kill us
Mhm.
because we're something. They know the nanotechnology world. They know that world, it's all there. Everything is there.
Right.
It's all when you buy something in the supermarket. I did a supermarket video.
Yes, you
I
did.
went to the supermarket video and I looked at the labels. I said, yo, Google these labels. Google everything in your food, and you'll see how they're playing with your where you play with your genes. But you first have to go study biology.
Right.
You first have to study epigenetics. You first have to study these things. You have to understand, know thyself.
Right.
You know, and so smart people will always be looked at as dumb, stupid, fragile, talked about at the time of their generation. It's not till later will people be like, yo, they were geniuses. Wow, these people were actually way above their time. They were way beyond what they, these people were actually smart. Because in the information age, although we're blessed with all this knowledge, the real true stuff is like right before your eyes, but it's hidden. It's ducked off.
Yeah.
Because they have a mainstream of ignorance that everybody subscribes to. And so and they're doing this mentally too.
Right.
Psychologically.
Oh,
Oh, the subconscious is where you really get all the control of the nano world. The subconscious connects right to this world.
Right.
You understand? This is how you create worlds with your subconscious.
Right.
You understand? You create genomes with the subconscious. The subconscious mind is what creates DNA.
Yeah.
So when you alter the subconscious mind, you're too. Oh,
I think it was 600 at one point in time.
What the fuck?
I don't know what's going on.
Yo, this shit crazy. I think we back on here now, on YouTube again. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so that's really all I gotta say about it. You know what I'm saying? We could just label this something.
Everything.
Yo, it just had to come out because you know what I'm saying. I'm just a messenger. I'm the messenger. I'm the broadcast. I'm something that's bigger than me. We're something that's bigger than us. We are you. We're not separate of you. We are all collectively the same thing, vibrating at different frequencies. Some of us are genetically modified, meaning that we're given the wrong information. And once we give the right information, what happens is the DNA is healed. And so that's how we heal that's love. Love is understanding, and we heal everything through understanding. So we have to start looking into nanotechnology to understand what's really going on. We have to look into this right here, all right? Yo, I don't even know what. I'm not gonna take everybody time too long. It's crazy. Like 600, you know.
Yeah, it just went down.
It's all good though. I love my self-reflection. Share this video, man. All right. Peace.